All right, guys, thank you for returning to the channel and returning to this little series about durability of stick baits, which it's really changed. I've noticed that the way you rig a stick bait has a lot to do with how long it lasts. Some methods are more fun to fish, other methods are more effective in certain situations, but I'm not going to go into environmental. I'm just going to show you the different riggings that you can do with a stick bait, and I'm going to give you my opinion on which one tears up a stick bait more. So what I'm going to do is switch you over to this little camera in front of me. All right, so this is what I call a hammer hook, an offset hook, however way you want to call it. And this is what I use as a weedless hook. This is for wacky rig is what I use this for. And I did another video on which wacky rig hook I like better, and I like this one. This is an Eagle Claw. This is a 1/0 or 2/0, I can't remember. Anyway, that's beside the point. Now, I'm going to show you a couple ways. We're going to use this stick bait, and I'm going to show you what I believe is the best way to rig a stick bait with the wacky worm to be more durable. The most durable way to rig a stick bait. But there's also a problem with this. So you take an O-ring, slide it over. Just so you guys know, this is a yum. This is a yum black and blue flake. Okay, so you take your O-ring and you just skin the worm and bring it through, and there you go. This, depending on how the fish hits it, that's why I'm doing this video, because it really depends on how the fish grabs it. There's so many different variables on how a soft plastic is more durable. So I just thought, when I first started making this video, by the way, when I made that first video that you guys watched previously, I made that a month ago, because everything that I found out, everything that I tried doing, it was all different circumstances, and it was just really hard to really test how durable a stick bait is by how many fish that you catch on it. It just ended up being almost impossible, and that's why I thought, hey, I'm going to release that video, because before I just didn't like how it ended, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do an explanation video to go along with that video. So that's where we are now. So anyway, this is very durable as long as the fish doesn't grab it like this. If you don't let the fish get this bait in its mouth and you grab it like you go to hook set and he's only holding on to this, it's going to pull the O-ring right off. And then it doesn't matter how durable this is, you just lost your stick bait in the water. Okay? So the O-ring method is very durable as long as you give the fish a second to put it in his mouth. Okay? You're going to feel thump, thump, thump. He's got to get it all the way in his mouth. Now, there's another way to rig this wacky worm. You can rig it right through the middle, like that. Right through the middle. Now, this is durable depending on how the fish hits it. But this still will cut this worm right in half. And it's the same thing when you rig it this way. When you rig it like that. I found that this right here, you get the best hook sets. You catch the most fish this way. Now this way tears up the worm depending on how the fish hits it. It will rip a big chunk right out of it. But this is the best way to fish a wacky worm if you want to catch catch fish and you don't mind tearing up your worm, because I've never lost a fish this way. This way is very effective, very effective. But like I said, it tears these worms up. You will go through a worm every time you catch a fish. So that's why I'm making this video, is to explain that the way you rig this setup really puts the durability to test. It doesn't matter. I've tried all different types of stick baits. It tears them up all the same. All right. Now you have this way. And this one I really want to get detailed because it's a couple different ways. Now we're basically rigging this up like we're going to rig it up weightless. And we want to do it weedless. So the one way to do the stick bait weedless is to put the hook in the center of the worm. Just like so. Now normally I'd slide this up on my line. Now you see that the hook is not exposed whatsoever. This is completely weedless like this. The hook is inside, and when the fish bites down, you set the hook and the hook will go through right there. The problem is you will go through. This is the most effective way to fish this. You're not going to get hung up on anything. This is completely weedless. The problem is when you set that hook, you destroy this worm. You will go through a worm every fish this way. It's very effective when you're fishing a very grassy area. I would totally suggest this way. I'm not saying anything bad about this way, but it affects the durability. Now, with young worms, you have a little ridge. There's a glare. There's a little ridge right here. I'm gonna put it on this camera. There it is. You see the ridge? That's to hide a hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that is facing out when we put the hook through. Put the hook through, like this. And then we're going to make sure that that ridge, the hook is going to come through on the back side of the ridge and right into the ridge. See how the hook is hidden? Now the hook is still there. I can still catch my finger on it. So this isn't completely weedless, but it's really, really close. Fish bites, hook's exposed, the hook's in them, and all that happens is the worm gets pushed to the side. I have found that if you want to go through, if you do not want to eat up worms, you want these worms to last you the most, this is the best way. And the young worms are the ones that have that ridge. The hook is completely hidden in that ridge. No, it's not completely weedless. It will get caught on things. It'll get caught on logs. It will. But it's not horrible. But that is why the young logs last longer if you set them up this way. So that's what I'm talking about. It all depends on how you rig. It all depends on how you rig these things, is how long the soft plastic will last. Anyway, I just thought that this needed an explanation. And so basically my conclusion is that I absolutely hated the Zman stick baits. And I really hate saying that out loud. I really, really do. Because I'm a small YouTuber, a small influencer, and I would love to have Zman as a sponsor. I would love that. But I have to be honest with you guys and let you know exactly how I feel, because I'm not getting sponsored by anybody. I don't like the Z-Mans. I don't like the material they use. The color was horrible. The worm swelled up like a sponge. It was really strange. I've never used a soft plastic that was anything like that. I didn't like them at all. I love the yum worms. If I had to make the yum worms better, I would make them scented. Like the lunker logs are a little bit more expensive than the yum ones. I buy a 30 pack for $10 of the yum Stix. I will tell you guys this. I catch more fish on the lunker logs. I just do. And I think it's because of the scent. The yum logs last just maybe one fish more than the lunker logs. But the lunker logs attract more fish. They just do. And I'm not biased. I don't have a preferred company or anything. I don't have a preferred company or anything, and I'm not biased whatsoever. I'm telling you exactly how it is and how I feel. I really love the lunker log, but I buy more yum because they're less expensive and they last longer. But I love the lunker log. Hate the Z-Man. Anyway, I don't want to beat up on Z-Man anymore. If they want to improve it, that would be great. And I'll test out an improved, log or stick bait or however way you want to look at it. I will totally test it out. I'm just trying to be honest, and I'm not saying anything bad about their company. I'm just saying I don't like their stick bait. Stick baits are my favorite. You can see I got tons of them everywhere. There's stick baits everywhere. I love stick baits. I use them all the time. I'll fish with something else and I always go back to a stick bait, whether it's wacky worm or it's weightless on a hammer hook. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.